Hello everyone, myself Dr. Ankita Pasad shall be presenting this case done under the guidance of Dr. Janani. This video shall cover the following tips. While bone quality and quantity are the most important in determining the proper 3D position for implants, placing implants in the anterior zone has an added factor of aesthetic concerns which makes the whole ordeal more challenging. Therefore, a prosthetic-driven treatment approach goes a long way in addressing this challenge. As with any implant case, achieving an ideal anterior restoration begins with thorough treatment planning and collection of patient data. This patient reported to us with missing 2-1 and 2-2, which she lost in a road traffic accident 6 months ago. Extraoral examination revealed ovoid facial form, straight facial profile, adequate lip support, and bilaterally smooth symmetrical movements with TMJ. She had a medium average lip line displaying the gingival embrasures. Intraoral examination revealed missing 2-1 and 2-2, medium scallop medium thick gingival biotype, papilla penetrating labial frenum, and a Siebert's class 1 defect with 2-1 and 2-2. A diagnostic impression was made with alginate. An RPD was fabricated with 2-1 and 2-2, which also served as a stent for CBCT and implant placement. Radiographic examination and the CBCT analysis revealed available width and length with 2-1 to be 4 by 19.2 mm and with 2-2 to be 3.7 by 18.3 mm. A buccal concavity was noted with 2-1. Therefore, the implant sizes planned were 3.8 by 11 mm with 2-1 and 3.3 by 11 mm with 2-2. Aesthetic risk analysis as given by ITI was carried out, which revealed the patient to be in the low to moderate risk category. Keeping in mind all the diagnostic data collected, this treatment plan was formulated. The RPD was used as a guide for the pilot drills, a palatal incision was made, and a flap was reflected. RVG was taken to ensure parallelism, and the osteotomy was completed using tensor burrs in the osteodensification mode, after which implants were placed with 2-1 and 2-2. As you can see, there was a buccal dehiscence with 2-1 due to the buccal concavity. Therefore, GBR was done by first decorticating the buccal cortical bone. Grafting was done with bioos and autogenous bone graft, which was covered by a collagen membrane, and suturing was done. 6 months post-implant placement, second stage surgery was done to uncover the implants. Temporary abutments were attached to the implants, and screw-retained provisional crowns were fabricated chairside with 2-1 and 2-2. These provisionals were kept out of contact in MIP as well as protrusion. As you can see, a black triangle was noted between 1-1 and 2-1. Therefore, a frenectomy using scalpel was done by my colleague Dr. Pankaj under the guidance of Dr. Ashwini. At the 2 weeks follow-up after the frenectomy, papilla fill was seen in the gingival embrasure between 1-1 and 2-1. After 4 weeks of provisionalization, this was the gingival contour achieved with the customized provisionals. For the customized impression technique, implant analogues were attached to the retrieved provisionals. Index of the cervical contour of the provisionals was made with putty. The provisionals were retrieved and impression copings were attached to the analogues, and flowable composite was flown into the index to record the cervical contour. The customized impression copings were attached on the implants in the patient's mouth. Snap caps were attached to the impression copings, and gingival retraction was done with 1-1. A closed tree impression was made with addition silicone, putty, and light body. Shade selection revealed the shade to be A3. A jig trial was done to ensure abutment fit, after which the zirconia abutments were tried in the patient's mouth. The final lithium disilicate restorations were cemented with resin cement onto the zirconia abutment after ensuring adequate torque and blocking the screw access holes with Teflon tape. To the customized provisionals and impression techniques, we were able to translate to achieved gingival contour with the provisionals to the final restoration. To conclude, predictable results can be achieved in challenging anterior implant cases by proper diagnosis and a restorative-driven treatment planning. Customizing the provisionals and impression technique helps us in achieving final restorations which are functional as well as aesthetic. I would like to thank my mentors and thank you for a patient listening.